some items in the mail, and I pretend to be Lucky Larry. Good evening, YouTube. Here with you on Tuesday. I had to think about it. Yeah, I always have to think about it. For this video, I got three things I want to cover. I know I made one just a while ago, but I told you I'd be back. And I do have the Sansei high mood radio on the bench. I did get the tube in today, and also I got some items I had ordered from China. These are some more of those little screw terminals. I got 2 bags of them, and these are spaced a little bit different. These are for use with the LM 380 whatever X whatever boards that I have bought. I bought a bunch of silk screened or whatever boards. I think I mentioned this some time ago, and these are to go with those. So also it was funny this morning. I had ordered these rolls of solder wicks some time ago, and from a guy in Canada, and they never came. Finally, he sent me a note, said that he had tried to send them. I may have mentioned this also, but that they were stopped at the border and returned to him. So I told him that today, I forget how long it's been, but tomorrow was the last day that it possibly could arrive. So I said, I wrote him a note, and I said, listen, I said, you know, this is not working. I said, you know, I know you said you were going to resend them, you were going to do this, you're going to do that, and it's been a long time. I said, I get stuff from China faster than this. And he said, you know, he wrote back, said, I understand. He says, I did go to, you know, and remail them and everything. He says, I don't really understand what's going on. So I said, okay, you know, can you give me a refund? And he said, yeah, no problem. He said, just let me know if they do show up. So lo and behold, I checked the mail today along with everything else. There they were. So I hurriedly wrote him back and told him to forget about, you know, the refund. I did get them. So he was happy to hear that and thanked me for my honesty. And I told him, I said, I worked for the USPS for 18 years. There's no explaining what goes on in the Postal Service. Even though his is the Canadian Postal Service, but still. So that turned out okay. A little long in getting here, but you know, it wasn't really his fault. He tried. So, and he had 100% positive feedback. I wasn't gonna mess that up. That's ridiculous. So just because the Postal Service is messing up. So anyway, that's that. I picked up Kylie from school. Had to take her to tutoring today. Took her to tutoring, picked her up from tutoring, and then took her to work. I've been busy, little beaver, this afternoon, so now it's my time. Like I said, I have the Sansei radio here on the bench. I'm going to play around with it a little bit, and I'm going to unbox this tube and see what that looks like, and that's about it. So stay with me and we'll get into it. Alright, I do have the soldering iron heating up. I figured we'd play around a little bit with this. I think it's kind of fun to do. And maybe hook up the power supply, see if we can put the new tube in and get it working with the new tube, see how it sounds. Finally, the wires, you guys see here, these are the wires going over to the output transformer. They broke off. I knew they were going to. They were number one, they're pretty thin wires, and number two, they were just barely hanging on. So I'll use clip leads until I get it ready to put it back in the cabinet, and then I'll solder them back on. But for now, we'll just put this tube in. Let me get it out of the box and we'll bring you right back. Alright, back again. I have the tube unboxed, unpacked, whatever. And we'll take a look at this and see what it looks like. We can get it out of here without too much problems. This is supposed to be a new old stock, so as far as I can tell it is. It slide out pretty easy. Oh, it's not bad. 17 EW8. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what it is. So, let us do that. We'll take that old one out and put the new one in. How's that? Quite a bit of difference in the look of the tube. This has got not very much of a, oops, there's not very much of a getter or whatever they call that thing on top. And this one is much better, much nicer. Now let's put this back in. And put the heat shield, the RF shield back on. If I can find the correct place to do that. I think it's right there. Yep. Just turn a little bit. That's in there good. Alright, now let me get some stuff set up here and I'll bring you back. I'm going to put this tube back in here and mark it used but good. We heard it play, so we know it's good. So put that over off to the side. If I do it there, I'll knock it over for sure. Let me, like I say, I want to get this, work on this part here a little bit. And I think I'm going to take this resistor out. And that way I take all the B plus out of the circuit. And then just hook up to the underneath side of the chassis to the filter cap there. And we'll be good to go, I believe. So let me do that and I'll bring you right back. Well, you missed the show. I had some fireworks going on under here. I thought I had this positioned like it's supposed to be, but apparently I didn't. I don't know if you can see the smoke or not, but there's quite a bit of smoke around here. Yeah, Larry, I'm trying to compete with you. Like I said, I think I must have had the must have had it wrong, obviously. Let me see if I can raise this up here and see what's underneath of it. If we see anything burnt there. I don't really, maybe right over here. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Move this around a little. Yeah, I think I see right there. That is touching the chassis. That would do it. And I don't think it's supposed to be touching the chassis right there. Yeah, that's kind of a crispy critter now. Don't have to worry about that one. Probably didn't do that clip lead any good either. Alright, well there's another resistor we need. See now, that was, I don't know if that was like that to begin with or not, but it's real loose in there. Maybe that was the problem. And maybe I'm the one that made it loose, I don't know. I think the best course of action for me to take here is to do all the wiring on here that I have to do. This is just the, you can see it over here, the old selenium rectifier hanging out there in the breeze. And there's a across the line cap there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's one right there. So, like I said, I'm going to take some things apart here and get some work done on this thing without trying to burn up the rest of the place. But I'm hoping I didn't blow the fuse in the variac. It's possible. It was still on, I think. Let me double check. Nothing's hooked up to it, so I'll just double check real quick. Yeah, it's still working. Alright, no problem. we know it, that whatever it's capable of putting out will make a fire. You know, it just never fails. You know, you miss the best stuff. I was really trying to go after Larry's title of the Smoke and Fire King. I thought I got the Flapping King. I might as well have that crown too. Anyway, this just goes to show you, boys and girls, as Radio Wild would say. You gotta know how your connections are before you go and hooking up the power to it. And I really did. I thought this was all. You can see here's the one that I had hooked up. Maybe you can see it, maybe not. There we go. This one here. Well, it came apart, but that one's there. Is the there's what's left of the wire. I knew it was sticking up between here, and I was trying to watch it with the power wire here, back of the power switch, and I thought I had plenty of room in there. I must have either reached for something or drug it across there or something, because I definitely touched the wrong spot, being as that was the ground. So anywho, the thing of it is, it must have been the power that I touched, because, you know, that had to be it, because I don't know. Well, there's a ground goes by there and a power. Let me rewire this like it's supposed to be, and maybe we'll come back and revisit this tomorrow or something. But I think for this evening, I think I'll just do the rewire on it and go from there. Okay, now I see. I think I'm learning how to use it. If I hit the T, see, it goes in. I was trying to move the little slider. If I hit the W, it comes out. Ah, I'm learning how to use my camera after 2 years. All right, like I say, let me go back to the other camera and have a laugh on that. All right, well, you guys have seen the part of the aftermath of the little fire and short we had there. Basically, I had 115 volts off the variac on that wire, and whatever it touched wasn't happy. I think part of it was the fact that, like I said, it touched the well, basically it wasn't supposed to do that. It was, I don't know how to explain this. I had the variac wire on the wrong thing. Well, not the variac wire. I had the jumper wire on the wrong thing apparently, and it was crossed with something else. I hadn't even hooked up the power leads for the B plus yet from the other power supply. So live and learn. At least I'm still living. So I'm going, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do the rewiring first. I was trying to rush things, and I really wanted to get into this tonight and try out my power supply, and that just goes to show you, haste makes waste, and I almost wasted my house. So you guys have a pleasant evening. Thanks for watching my very stupid mistake, and we will see you. You ain't got rid of me yet.